This is why you don't touch the damn controls. Stop touching the damn controls. Are you done?
Of course.
You're like a big ass child. Good.
Anyway, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Unfiltered Truth. I'm your host, Phil Robinson III, and the shadow over here is Phil Jones, my partner and my brother from another mother on the East Coast, Phil Jones.
How you doing? It seems like I've been hijacked tonight, but this will be the first and last time that ever happened. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to digest from this week. The whole madness of whether Mariota would be traded, whether he be cut. Well, that ends. Mariota is staying with the Raiders. He is now the Raiders' number 2 quarterback. And if anything would have happened to Derek Carr, he's going to step in, and I don't think we're going to have any problems afterwards. Raiders right now, we see that John Gruden, he also went free agency. Oh, you're funny. He's went in free agency, and he's gotten another wide receiver. The Raiders signed Willie Snead to a 1-year deal today. Phil, why haven't we gone and got a free safety?
Well, Jones, from what we've been told, what we continue to hear, the whispers, the rumors, whatever you want to call it, is that the defensive back situation will get taken care of. It's not a problem. We're not worried about it. So you look at what they have, and that's kind of frightening between Heath, Levitt, and Abram. Am I missing someone?
No, that's about it.
I didn't believe that I was. Now, when you look at the corner position, I could see a case could be made that they've supplied themselves with 6 corners going in, and that they may add a couple more for competition. But the guys that they plan on running with appear to be Mullen, Arnett, and Johnson, along with a sprinkling of Nevin Lawson and Amik Robertson. But in terms of why haven't they signed free safety, at this point, all indications look like they intend to pick somebody up in the draft.
So we could be looking at like a Javon Holland. We could be looking at Mowing, or we could also be looking at Richie Grant.
You could be looking at whoever it is that Gus Bradley and Ron Miles are getting ready to draft and develop into the next big thing. Do I expect them to find from Derwin James? No, I don't. But I do recall Earl Thomas was a 4th-round draft pick, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they can find a Hall of Fame guy, a Hall of Fame type player in the back end of the draft. So it doesn't really matter what we think in terms of what we've been told as what is elite, as much as they can find a guy who can play their system the exact way it needs to be played, and is fast enough to make all the plays, and is fearless enough to make all of the hits.
No, Earl Thomas was actually a 1st-rounder. I'm sorry.
Who was 4th? Somebody was a 4th-round draft pick.
Yeah.
Way off.
So
red flag.
Yeah, go on and stone them. But you go and look at everything. Rich, you're killing me.
It was Cam. That's who was the 4th round.
Yeah, he should have never popped up on the Unfiltered Truth. I know that, Rich. I'm sorry. But it was news. Y'all needed to know the updates. But the Raiders are going to have to address it now. I think they can go in and get Trey Boston. He's not going to cost that much. Trey Boston, you get him, I don't know, maybe a 2-year deal. They can make some room. I think they got enough room to make. Somebody's probably going to end up getting cut. Maybe Arden Key gets cut. I still see it coming. You sign Trey Boston, maybe what, 2 years? It could be about what, 12 mil, maybe 10 mil. He's pretty solid. Or you give him a 1 year deal, some incentives, and then you give him some upfront cash. It's not that hard. I mean, I'm not going to say it's hard, but I'm going to say that the Raiders can take the right path to get it done. And I know folks have looked at Malik Hooker being an option. My whole thing with Malik Hooker, can he stay healthy?
That's a big question. And so far, he's been unable to do so. And you would like to believe that one day he'd be able to do it, that once he finally gets a full season, he's going to be great and everybody's going to be in a rush to throw money at him as he's finally made it to the other side. But until he's proven that, you really can't take that risk. You still got to, if you're going to bring him in, it's only got to be for a 1 year prove-it deal just to prove he can stay healthy. And then if it were me, I'd realistically make him do it again just to prove that it wasn't a fluke. And then look at giving him a long-term deal. But judging by that time, he'd be what, 27, 28?
Yeah, about 27, 20. Yeah, about that, yeah. But I don't know. It's talking about Ohio State secondary players. You know, they can look good in the beginning, and then they look like a hot mess towards the end, or it could be vice versa. But you know,
they definitely tend to have issues.
A lot of issues. A lot. But I think their best shot is getting Trey Boston.
Yeah, at this point I do.
And the funny thing about it, he was there last year. The Raiders could have got him last year. But, you know, Paul Gunther.
I got my guys. They know my scheme. My scheme is the greatest.
Look how that turned out. Hey, Phil, did you hear this talk that the Raiders are going to be using Drake as their receiver?
You know, it's the Joker role. It's what they had mapped out for Lynn Bowden, if I remember correctly. All that other stuff that they were talking, at least it's funny when you sit and you listen to this. But no, it's just not going to happen. So you're going to see a guy who's definitely going to push Josh Jacobs for carrying the football because he's much more explosive. I think his vision's a little better, and he's a little bigger or a little taller anyway.
Woo!
Ooh, what? What's going on? Double woof. You care to elaborate? Oh, look, we got. Watch, hey everybody, watch me take out the trash.
Hey, hold on. We gotta make sure that's the right one. Hold up. I gotta make sure, is this the right one?
Fantasy football guru. Fattest. Well, it didn't say Melon. It did say Malin.
Hey, all right. Because, you know, people have been trying to take his identity and all since he went at Vinny.
You know, and I just had to take him out like Vinny did. Take out the trash.
Yeah.
Anywho.
I wouldn't mind having Matt on. I guess, you know, duplicate. Oh, damn, I just lost Phil. Oh, what happened to Phil? Big dummy. Got caught watching Pornhub. So, as you guys can see, I'm running the show right now. But for the Raiders with Drake, look, he's saying the Joker role, but we're going to see. Well, first things first, who the hell even brought up that he was going to be running at wide receiver? That's what I want to know. I heard it running around early this morning, but I think that's just really asinine to really put Kenyon Drake as just a wide receiver running. Come on, Phil.
That was sheer laziness. Whoever came up with that one, honestly.
Hey, bro, I hold on. You know, was that JPA?
I don't know.
You know, F it. I'm gonna find this shit right now. I'm sick of this crap.
But whoever said that is, come on, dude. We got to be better than this. Like, no, in what way, on what planet would you be using Kenyon Drake to do something other than what he did last year? Other than the near 1,000 yards that he ran for, the 10-plus touchdowns, and all of a sudden you want to put him out as a wide receiver? He only caught, a few balls for 127 yards. I mean, his receiving numbers were not off of the charts by any stretch of the imagination.
Nah.
So the fact that you would want to put him as a wide receiver is absolutely hilarious.
It's someone that doesn't know the team. And then you also go back and look at some of these, you look at the Draft Network, you look at Pro Football Focus, and they're all like, Raiders need to draft a right tackle. Raiders, they're going to go free agency with a right tackle. Hi, Dale. How you doing, man? Jim, how you doing? And that's the only way. Raiders, their mindset from what things look like, how they're bringing in, you got young guys, but you're bringing in some extra veteran help. They want to win now. They have to win now. This can't be what you call a rebuild.
It's gonna be one of these kind.
It's gonna be one of them nights.
One of these kind of nights, huh?
It's gonna be one of them nights.
That's just it really shouldn't merit a response, but because you brought it up, we responded to him. Kenyon Drake is going to be a running back. Gruden loved him as a running back. Will he get an opportunity to split out and do some things out of the backfield? Obviously, that would be the best use of his talent. That would be the best way to stress out the defense. The way to get a mismatch is a way to isolate a linebacker in man coverage. If you get him on a linebacker in man coverage, I like those odds a lot. But he's not going to be split out as a wide receiver. That's just silly.
Now, Phil, do you think that the Raiders probably need to look for another receiver, or maybe they're good with what they have right now? If you look at it, you have Edwards, Ruggs, Jones, Renfro, and then now Snead. You actually think that's good enough right there? We have Waller. You're going to see more of Foster Moreau.
I think it's good enough? No, quite frankly. You're talking about your receiving core outside. Let's pull up some numbers so we don't have to guess. That hasn't been working out too well for me today. But your receivers outside of Darren Waller caught how many balls last year?
Actually, receivers were about 43%?
Your receivers were ranked almost dead last in targets.
Well, I mean, that factors in when you have Darren Waller.
We got it right here. So without Darren Waller, who had 145 targets and 107 receptions, or Nelson Aguilar, who had 82 targets and 48 receptions, you're looking at Hunter Renfrow, who had 77 targets, Henry Ruggs, who had 43 targets, which was actually less than what Josh Jacobs had. This was first round pick, mind you. And then we have further down, we have Zay Jones at 20 targets. Brian Edwards, who we heard all out of training camp was supposed to be the savior, had a grand whopping 15 targets. So without Darren Waller, Nelson Aguilar, you have 77, 43. I didn't even try to do mental math. I've been drinking. 77, 43, 20, and 15. I have 155 targets. Almost as many as Waller had by himself. So when you ask that question, yes, we could pull up Willie Snead's his little statistics and everything that he's done, but if he was really that good of a wide receiver, would he have left Baltimore?
Nah. I mean, and then if you're banking on him to like imitate what he did with the Saints, I mean,
you don't have Drew Brees on this team.
Exactly. I mean, now I will expect to see.
Hold on, because I went there. I decided to go there. Please, we're pulling up Willie Snead's statistics right now. So last season, Willie Snead was targeted 48 times.
Okay.
He caught 33 balls for 432 yards and 3 touchdowns. So if you're bringing Willie Snead over here expecting him to be a difference maker, I'm sorry, that's just not going to happen. They targeted him 46 times in 2019. And so he's seen in the last 2 years, he's seen as many, almost as a little bit more than as many targets as he saw in 2018. And you know what? I'm glad that you brought that up because Vinny said a lot. And while I won't hound this man like a certain friend of ours has into doing some real low shit, I will say this: Vinny has been outside of his element. This has not been the off season for Vinny, and we're just gonna leave it at that and keep it pushing. But if you're waiting for Vinny to tell you something, you might be waiting a while.
Oh, I'm like, man, leave that up real quick. Send Vinny back to LA.
Hunter Renfrow is viewed as by the team as underutilized, and because he's viewed as underutilized, I sincerely doubt that Willie Snead is going to be taking anything. Renfrow has been statistically grading out as their best wide receiver on the team.
See, and that's funny. Like, I can't believe that really came out of
good old Siege.
I can't believe that really came out of Vinny's tweet. But then again, like you said, Vinny been on some shenanigans.
He's been reaching for the stars, to say the least.
I put it like this. One of the games where Renfrow had I think it's the Chargers game when he had the concussion. I'll be real. Renfrow stays in that game. You would have had Renfrow 700 some yards receiving, and then literally if you look at it, he's actually your leading wide receiver in yards and receptions. Ain't that something?
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I gotta give Matt Fallon his props because he said that in the end, Renfro would be leading in receptions for wide receivers and yards. And well, Nelson Aguilar is not here, so technically speaking, this was your leading wide receiver on the roster. So Matt Fallon,
a guy who did not play the majority of the snaps. You talking about third and Renfro? He's not out there on every play.
I gotta give it to him, man.
But the question, Phil, is this: did Vinny confirm that?
Oh shit! Damn! I'm waiting for. Hey, yo, you know who Vinny's starting to sound like right now? I hate to say it. What was that one guy?
No, you ain't finna do him like that, is you?
What was that other? What was that one Vegas guy?
Oh, you finna do him like that?
No, not Winters.
Joe Lisi.
Vinny is starting to look like Joe Lisi. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. He's looking like Joe Lisi right now.
Joe Lisi.
Y'all know who Joe Lisi is. That's
Joe Arrigo.
Joe Arrigo. The Raiders are about to sign. Yeah, I remember when he said the Raiders were about to sign the 49ers safety. That shit had me dying. 49ers like, we ain't giving up no safety. I know. Terrible. You know what's worse? Kev ain't in the comment section making his random shit.
Hey, it is what it is. Like we've already determined it's gonna be that kind of Friday today.
I'm on. Hold up. What Mo talking about? Not sure if Raider fans are tired of hearing culture change or rebuild, roster rebuild, or reset more over the last 2 decades. Well,
yeah, I had a nice response to that, which a lot of people seem to enjoy, which is the losing is the only constant. The phrases, the slogans, the mottos, and the creed have all been lip service. Some people might not want to hear that, but I can assure you it doesn't make it any less true. Because for everything that you've heard every single player, coach, Mark Davis utter, none of that has resulted in winning, trips to the playoffs, or anything else that would show that this franchise is turning the corner into bigger and better things.
No, that's true, but Phil, I just don't know what to say, man. We got commitment to mediocrity. We have, don't worry, we won 8-8. That's good, you guys. And this is gonna be our year. You know how many times I've heard this is gonna be our year? Heard that in what, 17, 18,
the last 6 years,
19,
6 years in a row,
20.
No, that back. It had last 4, 5.
The real question is, when is it really going to be our year?
I mean, 6 winning seasons out of the last 20 plus. No, not 20, last 30.
And, this is where it comes down to John Gruden doing his rah-rah speeches to get everybody hyped up, thinking that, this is definitely going to happen. Everybody's saying, Mayock, we trust. But, you got to have Mayock you got to let Mayock do his job. I know he's not going to be able to hit on everything.
He needs to hit on a lot more than what he's been hitting on for sure. Because whether he hits on everything or not, he done had 5 first-round draft picks in the last 2 years. He's about to have number 6, and he's got what, 1 Pro Bowler out of that? 1. These are supposed to be cornerstone, franchise-changing players. All five of these guys put together should have been enough to make a sizable difference on both sides of the line of scrimmage for offense and defense. So him needing to do, he'd be trusted to do his job.
Put that right there. I wholeheartedly agree. I mean, you look at how Hudson came in 2015. It was looking bright. Playoff. We had a little rough 2017, but let's try to bounce back. 2018, okay, this just went ugly. 2019, okay, looks like we better bounce back. Looks like
on the way back. Again. On the way back.
We go to 2020. Okay, it's coming. It's coming. Then we went right back to what we did in 2019. I don't blame Rodney Hudson.
Nope.
I don't blame him on that.
I don't blame Rodney Hudson. I don't blame Dave Jackson. I don't blame Khalil Mack. I don't blame Amari Cooper. I don't blame any of those guys. I don't blame Feliciano. And most of all, I don't blame Nelson Aguilar.
Nope.
I don't blame him at all. Because if you're on a team that's not playing for each other, that's a team that anybody who is a winner wants absolutely no part of.
Like the fact that you got a guy that came in on a 1-year deal that's got to talk some sense into the locker room.
He looks like the genius right now. He got a ring.
Yeah.
He got a ring out of that whole fiasco. Had to make himself look like the complete village idiot so that nobody would touch him in order to get to where he wanted to go to win a Super Bowl.
I can't, you can't even get mad at that. And it's wild. It doesn't make sense that you had to have a guy. Oh, wow. Well, hold on. What? Wendy, who's the analyst? Who's the analyst? I want to know who.
He in year 4 Gruden.
Serious NFL analyst defended Carr yesterday, saying how complicated Gruden's offense is. Bruce, what else is new? What's that? Bruce Miller? Yeah. Jeez, Bruce Murray? Bruce Miller. I think it was Bruce. I think it's Bruce Miller to be coming on serious. Hold on.
It really doesn't matter what his name
is. But the thing of it is, now we still going back to making excuses. That's the problem. If you keep making excuses for yourself, you cannot succeed in anything. If you can't accept accountability, and I'm saying from quarterback to head coach to your defense, you're not going to be a playoff caliber team in this league. You're not. It's outrageous. It's just downright a fucking disgrace that you got to hear everybody put up some wild, whack-ass excuse. Well, you know, it's kind of hard working for John Gruden, and, you know, he's trying to do this and that. I'm like, you've been trying to do this for the past 4 to 5 years now. People have had enough of this crap. You're going to lose your fan base. You're going to lose. You can't lose shit in Vegas because you need people to fill those seats in. So my whole thing is stop making excuses for the guy. I'm explaining how people are making excuses. I didn't say Carr is making excuses. I said people making excuses for him.
Thought we were talking about people making excuses for Gruden personally, because honestly, for all
I'm talking about Gruden too.
Yeah, because for everything that, so let's stop and let's stop and we'll actually spin this a different way for my man's here who's clearly new to the program. Let's say that everything was perfect with Carr himself. Let's say that Carr has improved every year, which statistically he has. Every year he's added something different to what he was doing previously under Gruden. It would then be up to Gruden to surround him with the players that he needs for his quarterback who's showing improvement every season to play better, to have what he needs to get this team over the hump, to not go down the backstretch of the season fizzling out, throwing interception and giving up fumble after fumble because everybody else on the field that the coach put around him is able to do their job and continue to produce at a high level during crunch time when they're needed most.
And, you know, not even that, you know, hold on, I want to get that up. If you keep doing the same thing over and over, but expect a new result, you're great. Yeah. My whole thing is this. You're supposed to have this amazing offense, and you can't fucking execute in the red zone. That is a problem. And I'm going to tell you this. If you cannot succeed in getting your 6 points in the red zone, why do you even bother thinking about making the playoffs? You look good the first half, but you come down the stretch where you have about, 5 games left on the schedule, and you can't even punch it in on 3rd and inches? Come on. It's pathetic. And I hope John hears this because, you know, I've been noticing our show, certain players have been hearing it, certain analysts have been hearing it, and certain assistant coaches have been hearing it. And you know what? I want them to hear this. Step it up.
Be better. Realize that you need to evolve your thinking, your way of doing things, your way of doing business, your way of coaching. Take, for instance, what Nick Saban said today. You have to outscore your opponent. Back in the day, his philosophy was to run the ball, control the clock and the field, play good on special teams in the vertical game, and pin your opponents down and win football games like that. And he ran with that up until the time that he discovered that he could no longer do that. With the way the rules have been changed to maximize the scoring, in this day and age of football, you have to score. You can't try to win game. First and foremost, their defense is nowhere near good enough to be winning games where the offense is only scoring 25 or less. Your quarterback, as good as he is, your quarterback, as good as everybody wants to say that he is, has got not only got to throw for more than 30 touchdowns a year, he's got to throw in the 40s to be considered MVP and elite like everybody else is. You cannot be leading the league in short yardage field goals because you can only move the ball between the 20s. That's where you operate, between the 20s. And once you get in,
exactly.
You can't run. You can't throw the ball to your all-world tight end who can get 145 targets, but none in the red zone. That just doesn't make any sense.
You know, what doesn't make any sense is why the hell are you putting old ass Jason Witten in over Foster Moreau, who elevated his game in the red zone.
Now, even if let's
reliable target in the red zone.
Now let's give the coaching staff the benefit of the doubt, and let's say that because of the injury that Foster was recovering from, they didn't 100% have confidence in his ability to be able to go. Now I'm just
I'm gonna stop you right there. The audacity of that statement. I had a Stephen A moment. Yes. Foster Moreau was good to go. He was going full speed. As we could saw, the motherfucker was running up hills and shit.
If he was full go, ready to go, there was no way in the world that any reasonable-minded human being / coach would ever put a guy that slow ahead of Foster Moreau.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, John Gruden said, "Hold my beer."
But you want to know what's really sick about that is that whenever you watch John Gruden talk about Jason Witten, he has that same look on his face that Mark Davis has when he's talking about John Gruden.
Boy was in love with him.
Starry eyes, all smiles, just a flutter, face turning pink. Just, Jason Witten.
Boy, he was like, Jason, you smell like licorice.
I just love that guy, man.
Man, let me tell you about Jason Witten, man. He's a real Gruden grinder. You know, he's really about getting the job done. He's a great leader in the locker room. And, you know, I like Jason Witten to come in right behind and teach the younger guys. But I'm going to put him out there as my number 2 tight end with Darren Waller, man. You know, Darren Waller, you know, he's
and that was the only reason why he was the number 2 was because they had Darren Waller. You know, Gruden would have started him as the number 1 guy in a heartbeat.
Don't make my stomach turn.
You know he would have did it. Now, Super Sean here asked, do the Raiders score more if the defense gives them more opportunities? While any offense would score if you gave them more opportunities, that the probability is just better that way. Now, the real question is how does the Raiders defense stop them from scoring in the red zone when they're not on the field? Now, I would like an answer to that question. I haven't seen a good one yet.
I'm going to just tell you this. If I pull up every game right now from last year, their opening drives, I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm going to pull up every game from last year. If you can't score in your opening drive, that's a problem. And you're supposed to be this high-powered offense. That is a problem. Am I reaching? So please, I want somebody to tell me if I'm reaching, because if you can't score, you're going. I put it for example. Denver is struggling. You couldn't score on the opening drive against Denver. Come on. 3 points is not going to get it. You preach about it like, oh no, we got to score 6. You know, we got to execute better in the red zone. You've heard Darren Waller do his interviews these past 2 months. He came on NFL Network. He's been on Sirius XM Radio, so on and so forth. And it's not just third quarter, it's the beginning of the game.
Last season they were great, and last season they were great in the odd numbered quarters. They were great coming out of the gate. They'd fall away in the second. They'd come in and do something in the third and just be complete shit show in the fourth. This year it was the opposite. It was more of the even numbers up until the last half of the season when it was just ugly all the way around. But the more you score on your first drive, the first drive to open the game and the first drive to open the second half, the better your chances are of winning, because it means that you're not playing from behind. Now, the funny thing is that everybody likes to talk about how bad that Raider defense is, but at the same time praise Carr for the comebacks. You can't have a comeback without getting a defensive stop.
Cause here, let me put it like this: Week 1 against Carolina, you scored on your opening drive.
Won the game.
Yup. Let's go to Week 2. What you do Week 2?
Believe we scored on the opening drive.
They didn't score on the opening drive.
They also held, let's see, got 1,000 here today, boy. Let me tell you.
So look, they didn't score on the opening drive right there, but you see how close that game was in the beginning.
It's going back and forth.
And it's funny, the last 2 times they played the Saints, they went back and forth. Oh, didn't want to do that. Here we go. Let's go week 3. And Week 3,
they did score. Well, they didn't score on the opening drive. Let's see. Yeah, they did not, and lost miserably.
Week 4, scored on the opening drive. Like, the more and more I go through it, the more and more I keep going through it, it's like the games that they didn't score on the opening drive, it was what? They won about 2 games. That was 2 games. The rest, you get the picture. You lost, you went 2-6 on not scoring on opening drives, and then you went 8-2 when scoring on the opening drives. Thing of it, the Raiders got to get better. They got to find balance, and that's going to hurt them if they can't do it this year. Now, everybody's talking about Raiders need to draft a right tackle. They need to draft a safety. I wouldn't mind. I mean, you can draft a safety in the second round. But I'm going to be real, you guys. With the whole shakeup within the draft, with the trade that just went down today with the 49ers, the Dolphins, and Eagles, I feel that now there's going to be a chance that the Raiders could get a certain guy. That guy ran a 4.39 the other day. I believe there's a possibility that the Raiders could grab Michael Parsons. Micah Parsons.
Linebacker from Penn State. Wow.
Nah, we going Micah Parsons.
A true difference maker. A dog. An alpha. An animal. A young lion.
I mean, let's be real here. And it's funny how you have some people that say that, oh, he's going to go to Detroit. Detroit needs another wide receiver. Yes, if you expect Jared Goff to get anything done, he's going to need another wide receiver. Okay,
he's going to need a couple wide receivers. He's going to need as many wide receivers as they can get him, because it's not going to be one guy who's going to be currently available who's going to match the production that you were getting from Kenny Golladay.
Cool, man.
Kenny Golladay he got hurt last year, and that's why people's memories are short. Kenny Golladay is a beast. So you're gonna see the Giants take off with him because Daniel Jones has finally got a real weapon out there.
And here's the funny thing. Everybody says that the Broncos need to go linebacker. Broncos need help at corner. They need a corner. Them corners got dog.
They need to continue to bolster that offensive line.
They won't do it. And, you know, their head coach be out the door real soon.
They need a running back, too.
Wow. So I'm just running a little mock draft right now, you know. I just want to see what happens.
Yeah, he did miss that. Did you see this, Phil?
Darby and Fuller. Okay. Fuller, I was not impressed with him. And Fuller's more of an inside slot guy than playing on the outside. Fuller plays on that outside, you're going to dog him all day long. Darby, Kareem Jackson getting old. Kareem Jackson is usually on the back end at like safety. And you wonder why Fuller got let go in Chicago.
It
wasn't just money. I mean, I'm gonna just be real. If we want to get technical with some performance here, I do it right here because I looked at Kyle Fuller. I was like, Sunshine ain't doing it.
Sunshine ain't doing it.
Sunshine was not the same. Was not the same. Literally was not the same. And this is advanced stats I love to pull up. When you giving up 5 touchdowns, I keep my eye on that. I like a corner that can give up about about 2, about 3 or 4. I give you that. But you go 5 or more, I got a problem. But,
made the Pro Bowl both
but
years.
if you look at Fuller over the years, I don't know. He's you know what? Take that back. I'm thinking about Fuller's brother, but still.
Yeah, he was the Pro Bowl the last 2 years with those 5.
That's right. No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about his brother because his brother made me pull my hair. But he didn't have a good year last year. But we'll see. We'll see how he does this year when he goes to Denver under Fangio.
He should have.
Lydell says Denver predicts top 5 under. And, if you're getting kicked out of, they're getting ready to discontinue Periscope. I'm putting Periscope for the time being.
Subscribe to the YouTube page.
Hit our YouTube page, The Unfiltered Truth. It should be streaming live right now. So if you're having problems on Periscope, just jump on YouTube, type in The Unfiltered Truth, look at the bottom screen, and just watch the show from there, okay? Everybody's been having problems with Periscope lately. I don't know the server. I think they're getting rid of like one server at a time. I'm just saying that's it.
Probably.
So.
Yeah, I take full on our team too. Shit. You need as much proven talent out wide as you can get. And I would never deny that.
So I just did a mock draft, and here's the funny thing. So they have Trevor Lawrence, Jaguars, just taking Zach Wilson. They got Sewell going to the Niners. And that doesn't add up. Because you just drafted a tackle not too long ago. And then you got Trent Williams. Now, Slater, I see, Falcons definitely. Dershaw, I see him going to the Bengals. Or, something could switch up. Jamar Chase going to Miami makes sense. Waddle, okay, going to Detroit. Trey Lance going to Carolina. Justin Fields to Denver, that's a possibility. Patrick Surtain, again, I had him going to Dallas. Kyle Pitts with the Giants, that's interesting. Because don't you already have Evan Ingram? Eagles taking Devontae Smith. J.C. Horn going to the Chargers. Tucker going to the Vikings. I mean, when you look at that mock draft right there, I just let the simulator go.
On what?
On the Draft Network. I'm just like, I was interested. I wanted to see, because I know they usually update it by like the end of the week, see how it went. But damn well the 49ers are not going to take a tackle at 3. You don't trade up to take a tackle at 3.
Nope.
That makes no sense. So when you're looking at Draft Network and PFF or Pro Football Talk, that shit, you don't know unless you're digging. I will say this. Raiders are not done in free agency. Raiders will most likely look to end up getting some secondary help. Maybe about 2 or 3 guys. Do you have? I got Mac Jones. He could go within the top 10. And he popped. But I had him going to the Washington at first. So we'll see how that changes up. And then we're hearing all this nonsense saying that Fields is all over the place on everybody's draft board. They got Fields going late first round now. They got Fields going. Someone got Fields in the 4th round on the draft board. Some madness going on. Yeah, the Raiders got enough cash to get some secondary help. They do. I'm just reading everybody's comments. I'm getting to you guys. Corey, that mock it was just Draft Network. It was a little simulator. I just pushed it through. I just wanted to see what would happen. Pedro, I don't know. I wouldn't touch Geno Atkins. I think he probably goes to Minnesota.
He needs to go to wherever Paul Gunther is.
Minnesota. Get a 1-year deal.
Yep. And be reunited with Gunther and Mike Zimmers.
Yeah, that'll work.
Define quality.
Quality help.
There are guys available. There are guys. So the beautiful thing about free agency that everybody tends to forget is that the longer this goes on, the less you have to pay guys. Guys are not sitting around getting ready to command top dollar this late in free agency. Pretty soon, it's going to get to a point where guys are getting desperate to get signed and willing to take just about anything to play somewhere, get that 1 year prove it so that they can turn around and improve their capital gains in the next season. Expect that. So a lot of people keep bringing up Richard Sherman. Raiders have had a conversation with him. You look at Trey Boston, guy that Phil had brought up earlier. He's familiar with Bradley's system. He's only 28, I believe, 27 going on 28, and still relatively young. A lot of guys that you look at and think, oh my God, there's no way that this is ever going to work, are guys that can come in and play the system. What we need to remember, and it's something that I've said this entire offseason and will continue to say until we actually see the product on the field, is that Gus Bradley knows talent. Gus Bradley and Ron Miles know how to develop talent and get the most out of it and get their players to do exactly what it is that they need to do in order to be successful. I didn't see Rayshawn Jenkins getting all of the money that he got to sign. Where did he go, Phil?
Oh,
was it Carolina? No, it wasn't Carolina. It was someplace else. But the Charger safety from last year, Jenkins, many thought he was going to follow Bradley to the Raiders until he got cashed out royally. The long and the short is this, is that whoever Bradley and Miles identify as their guy to start, as their guy to play, is going to be a guy who's physically capable and ready and picks up the system and is the best option to play out there. We have
Jenkins. He went over to Jacksonville. If I'm not mistaken.
I wasn't sure, so I declined to comment.
Yeah. Corey actually said, it was Duval. That's Jacksonville.
But in whoever they get out there is going to be the guy for the job. This is a proven defensive coaching staff who's produced a top 10, top 15 unit in every stop that he's made in Seattle, in Jacksonville, and with the Chargers. So we have proven defensive coaching that just needs to get an opportunity to do what they need to do. So whoever you see out there on that starting roster on the first week of the season is going to be the best option for the team. Who that is right now, I don't know. But I'm going to go on the record as saying if there's a coaching staff on here whose decisions you can trust, it would be Cables and the defense.
Yeah. Ain't nobody trusting that Gruden guy right now. Or are they? I mean, let's be real. Does everybody still trust John Gruden to get the job done?
Do you believe in John Gruden? Are you still knocking on wood? That's the question. That's the question we need to ask. Are you still knocking on wood?
I gotta know. You know what's funny? I'm gonna do a poll. I'm gonna do a poll on my Twitter right now.
Right now.
I mean, let's think about it. I mean, everybody's having a lot of doubts and whatnot. So I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna put it like this, you guys. Raider Nation. Do you still trust John Gruden?
Gotta be, are you knocking on wood? You knock on wood if you're with John Gruden. Knock on wood if you're with me.
I'm gonna put that.
We are 4 years in, headed into the 4th year in, and this is it. Oh, so we could say that this is it. We could speculate about this mythical out in his contract in which they can get rid of him. But the long and the short is this. A rebuild, a long, lengthy rebuild is termed to be a 5-year rebuild. Nowadays, coaches barely get 3. But let's say, this is, we're headed towards a 4th year on a 5-year rebuild. And it looks like he's tearing it down to the studs again. This will be the first year that fans are allowed in Vegas in the new stadium, all the bells and whistles. This is what's supposed to put this year right here, 2021, was the year that they had determined was going to be the one that put the Raiders on the map. How comfortable are all of you with this being the Raiders' year? Chiefs just lost the Super Bowl. Could have the Super Bowl hangover.
Right.
Broncos are inconsistent. Chargers got a 2nd-year quarterback and lost their defensive coordinator. Now, while they brought in the guy from the Rams, there's still going to be a lot of turnover there. If all things would point towards this being the Raiders' year to step up and take control of this division, all things except for the Raiders themselves. Because this wide receiving core is not trusted by the quarterback, lacks targets, and you're only going to be able to feature and focus on Darren Waller for so long, especially if defenses choose not to respect the guys that you're not throwing the football to. It's good that they got a backup running back. It's good that they got not even a backup, but a 1B, a committee back to help take some of that load off Josh Jacobs, because last year at the start of the offseason, I worried about him having durability issues because him getting injured as a rookie was not a good sign. Him getting injured again in his sophomore season was even worse. And while the offensive line wasn't blocking the way that they used to, and he was hitting contact a yard earlier than last season, he wasn't breaking anywhere near as many tackles and didn't quite look like the same guy until Devontae Booker came in and pushed him.
Y'all ready for let's see how this goes. Chad Reuter mock draft. The Raiders are selecting Christian Darrisaw, which I'm just mad about. I'm not impressed.
Nope. They get to no vote for me. Let's move on.
All right, hold on. He did 4 rounds. Hold up.
Oh, go ahead.
Hold on. That was what? Oh, he did different scenarios. Okay. Let's see.
And what scenario was that horrific decision?
A nightmare. All right, here's round. Let's see how he did round 2, because I'm interested in this right now. Let's see round 2 for the Raiders.
Compton in the house.
Oh, he went the guy that I've been looking to get, Javon Holland. So you get a safety. Okay. Compton in the house. Round 3, because we're in round 3, not once, but twice.
2 times. Twice. Let's get to the names. All
right, but hey, buddy, do not rush me. Okay. The Raiders go Kelvin Joseph, cornerback from Kentucky. At pick 80, Raiders go linebacker from Alabama, Dylan Moses.
And we still have one more round of this to salvage this potentially, to at least make it a 50-50 thing.
Round 4. Fight.
It ain't. It really ain't.
All right, here we go. Raiders select Notre Dame guard Aaron Banks. Yeah, I'm done. I just threw up. I swear that man doesn't know how to draft.
And I can guarantee that his team will finish at the bottom of the division with drafts like that.
Yeah. Come on, hold up. Didn't Raiders just get guards? Didn't you just draft a guard last year?
Yep, Simpson. And you brought back Incognito and Good.
And they're talking about putting Nick Martin at guard if he loses out the center position. And so that would mean Denzel Good would kick out the right tackle?
Brings up the interesting question of what is it that they intend to do with Brandon Parker, the former 3rd-round draft pick who, 6'8", what's he going for, 325 now?
Yeah, about 320.
So he's going into his 4th year in the league now?
This would be, year 4.
Year 4.
If I'm Tom Cable, if I'm Tom Cable, I got to give him his shot now. Now you're going to come in, you're going to have a full training camp, Phil, and then you're also going to be able to have a preseason. If we see how he does with the starting lineup during preseason, that would give us the idea. Well, I mean, really camp in general, but seeing how he does in preseason, I think he could probably pull it off.
I don't think they gave tackle money either. I think they paid him to be a guard.
Pay who to be a guard?
Good.
Yeah. So I'd say this. Look, you could bring in. You could bring in, or you could bring in the right tackle from Tennessee that got released. Kelly. Kelly didn't surrender not one sack. But I want to see Brandon Parker get the opportunity to be able to start at right tackle.
I want to see him beat everybody out, or get beaten out early. I don't want to see this to be a lasting thing. He should, like you said, he should get every opportunity. And the fact that they now have some better defensive line talent to push them in practice, we're going to get an opportunity to see just how much better he's gotten. Because at this stage in his career, he has to start. He either has to start, or you got to look at getting him off your football team. Can you keep him as a swing tackle, as we saw earlier in the comments? Yes, but at the end of this year, it'll be time to move on, because you can't keep a guy like that forever if you're not going to play, or if you're going to be scared to play him.
Oh, I forgot about this damn poll I just did. Shit. Ooh, well, if you vote, you vote. As of right now, damn. Raider Nation, do you still trust Coach John Gruden to get the job done? 37% of you guys say yes. 63% of you guys say no. Yeah. That's what we're dealing with right now. I mean, and the poll is rolling. I mean, we're already past 100 votes already.
You're looking back at that. Yeah, it was up to 65% no and 33% yes.
Ain't looking good. So, other than that, you guys, we're gonna get ready to wrap this up. I appreciate each and every one of you guys tuning in. You can find me, Phil Jones, on Instagram, Twitter at Phil Jones NFL. You guys can find Phil Robinson III at Phil Robinson III on Instagram and Twitter. You can find us on Google, because that's where we at. You can Google us now, man. Google me. Google Phil Jones, you'll find me. Google Phil Robinson III, you'll find them.
Get your Unfiltered Truth shirt. Send a request via the unfilteredtruth@gmail.com. Give me your size, your colors, and your address, and we will work out payment and go from there.
And remember, if you missed tonight's show or missed part of tonight's show, you guys can subscribe to our YouTube page, The Unfiltered Truth, and recap the show or any other show that we've done over the past couple of weeks. And I mean, shit going on since last year. I'm Phil Jones. This is my colleague, Phil Robinson III. This is the Unfiltered Truth. You guys enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy your weekend. Stay safe. Max up. If you're gonna get your vaccine, go and get your vaccine. Stay healthy. Be safe out there. Love you guys.